Hi, everybody. This is Jason Major from the Biblical Cinematic Universe, and I just like to say every once in a while, God gives a gift. So I was at Shoppers Drug Mart yesterday, and I found Noah's Ark, the BBC version, Dove Film Award. It's 5 stars, says the Daily Mail. It's more of a story of family than any other version, says the Family Choice Awards. So I have to talk about this, and it stars a bunch of all these actors I don't know. They're looks like BBC actors. It says David Threlfall, Joanne Whaley, Nico Mayer-Legro. I don't know any of these people. Look at this guy right here. Look at this Noah's son right here at the far corner. Look at his haircut. Look at that. Look at that haircut, man. It looks very modern day haircut. I mean, I know they're all white, but like, come on, get a beard, get a haircut that looks at least somewhat like it's trying to be biblical times. Anyways, so I just thought I picked this up and I had to. Now, when I went to go watch this, I was expecting that this would be a family friendly, very biblical retelling of the story, probably a low budget. And it kind of exceeded my expectations because it is really, really, really low budget. Um, so before I compare it to other Noah movies, I'm going to say let's talk about this movie itself. Um, so in this version of the movie, Noah and his family have 4 sons, not 3, and he's friends with the he's friend. There is a person that he's friends with in the village that he goes to for supplies and stuff. Who does not believe, but he's a good friend at least. And in this version of the story, and that's where one of Noah's sons falls in love with a girl who is a worldly girl. Um, and in this version of the story, Noah, an angel comes to him who just looks like a normal man dressed in a white robe, and tells him that the rain is going to fall and God's going to destroy all mankind. Build an ark. So for the next hour, the story really is about Noah trying to convince his family that he's not crazy. And at one point, he does go to the village and tries to convince them. At least in this one, he actually has compassion for other people. So I'll give them credit for that he actually has compassion, that he doesn't want to see anyone die. So he actually at least attempts to go there, but he's laughed out of there. Now, when he does make the speech, he's like clanging on a pan. I'm not kidding. He's clanging on a pan, so it literally is like just like some street preacher clanging on a pan saying, the world's going to end. And that's about all he's good at, and then he gets laughed out of town. And that's so the drama for the first hour is literally that. Just his family don't believe him. They think he's gone insane, and Noah's building an ark by himself. That's it for an hour out of this 1 hour and a half movie. Um, but I kept watching because I have to torment myself, and I need you to avoid the torment. And so, spoilers for a movie based on the Bible and BBC. Um, I would say that this movie becomes, to me, like Planet of the Apes type. What did you do? You know what I mean? Like, dang them. I'll say dang instead of the other word. Dang you all. Like, what did you do? That the last 15 minutes is really that because of the lack of special effects. Again, this is now into spoiler. So if you don't want to know anymore, my review is I'm going to give you my review now, and then we'll get into spoiler territory. My review of this film is a 3 out of 10. I'm not kidding. The value of this, I give it a 3 because of this last 15 minutes that I'm going to tell you about, because it entertained me wildly. But 3 out of 10. The acting isn't bad, actually. The acting of the main guy playing Noah, he's pretty good, and the tension with a couple of the sons is not bad. But everyone else is kind of bland because there's no story. It's just really Noah. His sons don't believe him, and that's the story. So outside of the actor who plays Noah, who does a really good, who does a out of the Noahs that I've seen, he's one of the better ones. There's not much there. So it's a 3 out of 10. Now, spoilers. You've been warned. Spoilers. Okay, spoilers. The last 15 of the moments, Noah, a whole group of people decide that they believe the message and are going to go on the ark. And at this point in the movie, an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, there are no animals yet. So I'm waiting for the animals. And then Noah's youngest son, who's called Canaan in this, which is kind of a callback to the Canaanites. He's now fallen in love with the girl, the worldly girl, and so he doesn't want to come onto the ark. That wasn't fine. That was okay as an interesting addition. And then the flood. He finally sees the storm about to come, and then in the distance, in a shadow, literally, you see CGI animals in the distance of really just a line of shadows and animal noises. And that's your only shot in this whole freaking movie of, I mean, even on the back it has a shot of animals. That is how long the animals were in this movie. You don't even see it like this clear in the movie, actually. In the movie version, you just see just them in the background, and then supposedly they got on the ark with on the ark, and with these other people who are on the ark as well. And then you see a very brief 2-minute montage of CGI, like the world is supposed to be flooded. You see a globe being flooded, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's now supposed to be, I guess, months later, because they don't show the dove. They don't bother with any of that, because I guess that caused more special effects that they don't have budget for. Instead, all you have is this really badly rendered CGI arc in the desert somewhere. It's not even a lush valley or anything. And then the people wandering out, and then the angel tells him, like, do you think they've learned a lesson? I also forgot. There was another part in this movie where, like the people in the village are trying to talk about science. Like, science tells them there's no God. Like, there is no God because science tells them. I mean, I guess it's a contemporary, it? Because obviously there would be no reason for, like, these people pre-Noah age to believe in science of any reason. More likely they'd believe in another God, or just, they want to do their own thing. But, like, and of course, they're doing their own thing is really, them having a party where they get drinking and smoking. That's their version of evil, is, you having basically a rave party. That's literally all they've shown, really, in terms of how evil these people are. They're just having a rave party. These people had a rave party. That's why God had to destroy the world. Rave parties. It's not like it's so. Oh boy. So I found this humorous. I found this hilarious. The ending hilarious. Now, again, another spoiler is that I did look it up, and when you look up the Islam version, there were in the Islam faith, there were other people on the ark, and there was a fourth son. So that those two story elements that they included are actually from the Islam version. This makes it, to me, less Christian, so it's kind of weird, but it went a double word, so I don't know if that they want a double word because it's still based on biblical history, and they were fine with that mixture of the two. I don't know why they got a mixture of the two. Now, and but I'm going to say 3 out of 10. Except for this twist ending that I told you about, where you have that you just see it to just say what's going on. This is not worth it. I mean, I guess you could say it's mildly entertaining in the sense that acting is okay, but you literally have to go in with the idea that this is not really Noah's Ark. In my mind, it's more. It could have just been an episode of like a western, like Little House on the Prairie type western about a family, and then they find out that a flood is coming, and they have to save the farm because of a flood. If you're going with that attitude of it's an episode of like a western, I'm not kidding, then you might get mild enjoyment, but you have to know that there's virtually no animals, and the big conflict of actually the significance of the flood, and the 40 days that they could have shown the 40 days in somehow film some scenes in for the 40 days, especially if you're going to have all these people in the ark too. They could have had some infighting or something, but they did. So is it biblical up until the last half hour? I guess it kind of was, but not as interesting as all these other Noah movies, like Noah's Ark with John Voight, which again is crazy. Noah with rock monsters, aka Arfonsky. Um, this is actually my favorite one, which is the story of Noah as part of the greatest heroes. The greatest heroes of the Bible. That's probably my favorite one, and actually is probably one of the most biblical ones in terms of like there's people attacking the ark, but like then there's animals at least. Yeah, that's my recommendation. It is at 3 out of 10 as a BBC special, and I give you some really good meat in terms of just. I've given you 11 minutes of your time so that you didn't have to do an hour and a half of your time. So 3 out of 10, unless you're a completist like me and you have to see the Planet of the Apes ending. All I can say is, VB, why do you see VVC? Why you? Why you had potential? Take care until the next biblical cinematic universe.